I will call this meeting to order. If everyone will join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I want to welcome all our guests. Okay, we'll go ahead and get in with the minutes. Helen, what have you got for minutes?
Don't have any.
None? None. Okay, reports? None?
No.
Correspondence?
I have none.
This is good.
You have correspondence we got this morning.
Oh, okay, I was gonna wait on the other, it looks like it is correspondence, isn't it? Thank you. Okay, this morning, Terry Churchill came in from the Jefferson County Central Committee with, their three selected folks as for nomination, which, the three are Terry Churchill, Mark Reinschmidt, and Kirk Wagner. And we've gone ahead and set up, interviews for next week to meet with these three. And we'll go from there, what transpires. Anything else you commissioners want to add to that? No?
Nope, just the
Okay.
process. We've got 15 days to appoint somebody after we get this formal letter from the central committee, and if we don't like the three they brought forth, we can request three more. Then if, after that, we have to pick from those six. I think that's what MCA allows us to do. So we'll start that process with the interviews next week.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Point of information, can you say those three names for me?
Yes, sir. Terry Churchill,
Churchill, okay.
Mark Reinschmidt, Kirk Wagner. Helen, what have you got for calendar review?
Okay, so, mm, Tonight at 6, weed board.
Correct.
Tomorrow. Boyd Andrew at noon. Planning board at 7. Thursday, Trico Fire at 9. Survey review at 1:30. Mosquito board at 5 and basin water and sewer. Are they actually meeting, or is that just left over?
The mosquito board?
Basin water and sewer.
I think that is, I haven't been going to their meetings because they haven't requested that, so, but I think they do have their meeting.
Okay,
The mosquito board, you can just take off your calendar, we just meet every so often, so.
okay. Commissioner Kirsch is Friday, and I show nothing for the 30th.
Anything else, commissioners? Either one?
I had a meeting next week, but it was canceled.
Okay.
I have
Area
nothing to add.
forward on aging,
Okay,
but they canceled.
CTAC meeting Thursday at 0800. That's all I have on that. Okay. Okay. Commissioner reports, start with you, Commissioner Doolittle. What's been going on?
Attended, well, we've been doing budgets and lots of phone calls and emails from Martinez Gulch and Holmes Gulch area over their roads. Had a safety meeting this morning, went over some training coordinator meeting that they're setting up for September. With department heads and regarding the onboarding stuff we've been discussing. Their website's still working there. It's a pretty slow process. They've got some mandatory lockout tagout training August 5th and 6th at the fairgrounds. At the fairgrounds is the health and wellness days. Our mod factor on our workers' compensation is way down, which has saved us many thousands of dollars in money, which means we're not paying out a lot of claims. Nobody's getting hurt. And they're doing a great job. So all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kirsch.
Last Thursday, we had a BTEC meeting, Chamber of Commerce Farmers Markets gonna start this Thursday. High school track project was delayed, contractor quit or something.
They might be going under, but we have a new one that's coming in and gonna do it, so it'll be done by our first.
Hopefully by the first,
football.
football, is that what the rush is for? Okay. 21st Century Learning Program grant was frozen. After school program might be going away without alternate funding. Anything?
As of July 24th, Cassie will no longer have funding for her job.
Okay.
And we don't know if they'll have after school.
And that was federally funded money that got taken away, okay. The Boulder Monitor, they're actually called the Monitor, but it doesn't sound right without the boulder in front of it. Their housing grant got denied, so they're not gonna be able to do their housing project without some alternate source of funding. They were talking about going in together with Broadwater on some alternate funding to still try to push that housing project forward, so. I think that was all I had for that meeting. This morning we had solid waste board meeting. Everything's going great there. Trying to think if there's anything really worth mentioning. We had a couple adjustments and cancellations, mostly for storage units that for some reason got put in for living units. So we were charging them an extra charge for their solid waste, so we typically cancel those off. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything other noteworthy from that solid waste board meeting, unless you guys can think of something. Pretty easy meeting. They're all kind of the same anymore, which is good. Trucking along very well. And I think that's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Last Wednesday, the Beaverhead Deer Lodge Working Group, we met in Butte. And there we discussed, still working on travel management. Now we're trying to get, where we get all the commissioners, which I've mentioned before, to jump on and sign from all 7 counties and try and push this to go up into the Senate, working with the senators right now and try and get their attention that this would be one of the priorities to be put on with the Forest Service. So still pending. I don't know how long it'll take, but we're still persistent about it. And then that's all I had then. That's the only meeting I had then. And then we met today with a health department, Pam Hanna, and she's talked about Clancy Days, Frontier Days, Boulder Fair, and the Boulder's Farmer Market. What they're gonna do is implement the use of car seats. So they'll be down here in Boulder once a month at the farmer's market. And then again, they'll be at the Boulder Fair and then Frontier Days. And August 1st, they're going to assist in sports physicals with the Boulder Medical Clinic as for the cost of things and helping out. And evidently that money, what is paid will go back towards the school itself as for what is it? Not team program, but the athletic program. And then Pam is also looking to hire a behavioral health coordinator for the mental health contract that's currently been signed. It hasn't actually kicked off yet, but she's still trying to find somebody to fill that position. So that just came to be. That's all I have. Anything else, commissioners?
We're looking for a sanitarian, I guess. We're gonna probably have to contract out in the meantime because we advertised for a sanitarian for 2 months, I think.
Yeah.
Megan gave us
Close.
a 2-month notice, so we've been advertising since then, and I think we got 1 or 2 applicants, but they didn't have the college or whatever they needed to be able to take that job, so our the guy that worked with Megan, I guess, is a licensed sanitarian, and he's kind of, he's taken over, but he has limited hours he can work, so we're thinking of using him with a contract sanitarian and maybe using some of the health department's admin to make that department work. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll bring in the contractor and talk to them and see if they can fit what we need as far as our services as sanitarian. So we're kind of in between on sanitarian. I haven't had any complaints yet, so things must be rolling okay with Matt right now.
I think Matt's handling it for now.
Yeah, so everything seems to be trucking along, and hopefully we'll get that smoothed out again, so it's working well. Won't work as well as it has been with Megan, but she worked 30 years here, or 30 plus years.
30 plus.
So hate to see her go, but she needs to retire at some point, I guess. I think that was all I could think of for the health department.
Okay.
Meeting.
Sounds good. Now we come up to the opportunity for public comment. This is the opportunity for anyone within the audience that wishes to speak about anything that's not on the agenda, even though we cannot take a vote. And if you choose to do so in speaking, would you please identify yourself first part to what you have to say? Is there anyone?
No, my name is Paul Backlund. I live up in Forest Park. And I live in Jefferson County. Sometimes in the winter I'm gone, but I've noticed that it seems like there's been kind of an increase. And maybe I almost characterize it as an epidemic with respect to suicide and mental health issues in this county. And I'm not telling you guys anything. And when we have issues with suicide and mental health, it affects all of us, whether we want to believe it or not. And I would encourage you, if you have money available or positions, to fill those and have people work with. I think you have to start with the youth. It's like the no smoking program. If we start people when they're young, and I'm saying, you know, preschool or whatever, and we address issues, we don't hide them in the closet. We just bring them out in the open and learn. The kids can learn that this is something we need to deal with, and it's good for all. So, and I guess I would encourage you to take advantage of any programs, federal, state, or whatever, to bring this idea of how important our mental health is, our general mental health. And that's all I would like to say.
I would add to that, Paul, in one of the meetings I attended, and I know Commissioner Doolittle's been on that one too. They've already made an agreement to work with Butte, and they have a representative that's going to work with both. And they also have a gal that is a psychiatrist or psychologist and has been in the schools working with these kids as we speak. So they're in there. It's just, we're trying to get, well, I understand, it needs to be more done.
It's just gonna take time.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And we do have, Paul, a mental health local advisory board, and we meet once a month.
Okay.
That's the health department. There's lots of county employees on it. There's lots of people from other counties that assist us with it. And that's one of the position that Dan, excuse me, talked about, is a grant that Pam got to help with some of that. That's what that position is gonna assist with.
Great, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, Craig, you're probably more aware of these issues, having had to deal with them for the last 8 or 10 years.
I dealt with them for a lot of years, and most of them are sad, to say the least, and they affect a lot of people.
Yep. Thank you.
And they just had one in Helena yesterday, day before yesterday, I think.
See if it hurt.
Thank you, Paul. Anyone else? Okay, I'll move along then. Okay, boundary line relocation, Boulder View Ranch subdivision lot 16A. Lindsay, is that you?
So we have urged to approve the Boulder or the boundary line adjustment for this one. It's 16A is in the Boulder View Ranch subdivision, and then lot A is below. It's not actually in the subdivision. But they want to just kind of trade some land. The acreage actually doesn't change at all. They're just moving a couple things around, as you can see on the survey.
I had asked Lindsay after I reviewed this, how are they gonna get access, because the easement that goes down from the cul-de-sac there is gonna be useless because the property line changes, but they have access to the west side over here. It goes along the property boundary, so, and I think that's the existing road is there now, so is that what you said, Lindsay?
There's a
There's a
driveway
driveway.
there.
Driveway, so they do have access to their like that easement on the far west of that lot, so I think it all looks good.
Okay. Anything else, Lindsay, or is that pretty much what you Okay.
Perfect with the findings and conditions too. as well.
got? Okay. We have a motion?
We'll move to approve the boundary line relocation Boulder View Ranch subdivision lot 16A with the findings and conditions brought forth to us, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, that will be this one. All right. Boundary line relocation lot 1A and 2A amended plat of Sheep Mountain. What is that supposed to be, number 3?
Yeah, it's sheet metal number 3.
Okay.
This is the one that we've been talking about for a little while with that cul-de-sac. So it's going to be the boundary line adjustment, and then they're gonna abandon that and go back to the cul-de-sac that's there, and this will just provide access for lot 1A-1. And we did ask them when they do it, I can see that if they shade it a little better, because it is kind of hard to see. It's a little bit hard to see the way they have it, so we did ask that if they, the one that they're abandoning, they shaded a little better so you can see. So this will change, and then the lot owner also asked if they could abandon that utility easement that runs along the line. They are the last lot there, and the rest is surrounded by DLM. They talked to the utility and they had no problems with them abandoning that as well.
Okay. Any questions, Commissioner, prior to? Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve subdivision boundary line adjustment, abandonment of utility easement, lot 1A Sheep Mountain number 3, and minor subdivision lot 2A. That this is regarding.
Okay, number 3, Sheep Mountain number 3, all right?
Yep.
Do you have a second?
Does he want to add the findings and conditions to his
Oh.
motion?
There you go.
To where?
Just that we accept the findings and conditions.
Oh, yeah, that
To
we
the
accept
motion.
finding the conditions of the planning board and the survey committee.
I'll second that
Okay,
motion, Mr. Chairman.
any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Okay, appoint board members. What do you got, Helen?
Planning board and then. Fire trustee.
These two? Okay, planning board, Roy Mulvaney, and then,
Montana City Fire District.
oh, Richard
Trustee.
Abraham, okay, yep, trustee, which who is Elizabeth Burns, is that correct?
Elizabeth Burns, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you want to do these individually or, well, we'll do them individually.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, the first one I have is for, planning board, Roy Mulvaney, and let's see what we got here. You guys want to read this before you make a decision? And I'll give it to you too.
Dear Commissioners, I am respectfully applying for a vacant position on the planning board as native third generation Montanan. I was born and raised in Helena and chose 2.5 years ago to live and build a home in Jefferson County because of its beauty and rural nature and the responsible development, growth, and land use in the county. My wife and I are lucky enough to be surrounded in good caring neighbors and stunning views of mountains, meadows, and wildlife in our home on Jennings Court. I understand the rural challenges of Jefferson County and want to help facilitate its development and growth in a responsible way. Prior to my retirement, I was employed for 37.5 years at the Montana Department of Labor and Industry Unemployment Insurance Division. The last 9.5 years as the UI administrator. UI is a joint federal state partnership that provides benefits to unemployed workers that are financed by employer taxes. I work closely with Congress and state legislatures and federal agencies to develop, pass, and implement federal, state, UI laws, rules, and regulations. I worked with diverse groups of people, understanding each group needs to arrive at a successful outcome. I have served on many committees collaboratively at the federal, state, and local levels, including being selected as one of 3 UI administrators nationwide to provide my expertise on setting a national vision for UI and workforce services to better serve unemployed workers. I also led a successful fund drive and building of RE Center at my church. Currently, I am chief election judge for precinct 12 in Jefferson County. I'm a great listener, inclusive and respectful of people's views and willing to work hard for the common good. As UI administrator, I met personally with unemployed workers in rapid response meetings around the state to help them file for benefits and obtain reemployment services. I understand the role and responsibility of the planning board and want to give back to the Jefferson County community. Thank you for considering my application. Roy Mulvaney. Is this a new appointment, Elena? Yeah, new, okay.
One of our board members did resign recently, so
How's the board, how's it weighted? I mean, as far as north, south?
he would be replacing a person in the north end.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
pretty balanced on our,
We are.
okay. But move to appoint Roy Mulvaney to our planning board, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
On the back of that. In front of me, never mind. On the sheet where I'm not used to using, okay. And the other one is for the Montana City Fire Department. And what it is, the individual is Elizabeth Burns, and she's to replace a trustee within that district. And because the other one has resigned as such. So I would entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve. Is it Elizabeth Burns to the Montana City Fire District?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion?
And I think this appointment went through the whole
It looks
fire district committee and they vetted her and
Yeah,
sent her
that's a
to
good
us,
point.
so
Yeah.
we kind of have to use their
Yeah, there.
judgment and who we appoint.
No, any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, sign Montana wool growers and stock growers predator control MOUs. Excuse me. Make sure there's a note there. Okay, Montana Stock Growers Association Predator Control Fund out of Billings. In accordance with the terms of a cooperative service agreement between the USDA APHIS Wildlife Services Program and the Montana Department of Livestock, Jefferson County agrees to allocate $10,329 for the protection of cattle from destructive animals. Funds under this agreement will be expended to carry out a mutually agreed upon program to minimize the economic depredations. County will be billed semi-annually on December 1st and June 1st. Funds will be made payable to and deposited in the Predator Control Fund, Montana Stock Growers Association. The program is agreed upon as follows. Number one Wildlife Services Specialist, in parentheses WSS, will conduct wildlife services in Jefferson County. Number two, funds generated under this agreement will be expended within Jefferson County for costs associated with the WSS vehicle, partial salary, and contract fixed wing and or helicopter flying. And that's this one. You want to do them both same time?
Sure.
All right, might as well, it's the same. Okay, this one is the same as for the Montana Wool Growers Association. In accordance with the terms of a cooperative service agreement between the USDA, APHIS Wildlife Services Program and the Montana Wool Growers Association, Jefferson County agrees to allocate $578 for the protection of sheep from destructive animals. Funds under this agreement will be expended to carry out a mutual agreed upon program to minimize economic depredations. The county will be billed semi-annually on December 1st and June 1st. Funds will be made payable to and deposited in the Predator Control Fund, Montana Wool Growers Association. The program is agreed upon as follows. Wildlife Services Specialists will conduct wildlife services in the northern half of Jefferson County, Lewis and Clark and Powell counties. Wildlife Services Specialists will conduct wildlife services in the southern half of Jefferson County, the east half of Silver Bow County, and Madison County. An airplane will be used where feasible and funds available. So, I have those two. I entertain a motion, gentlemen. Wow.
You go ahead and sign the wool growers and stock growers predator control MOUs, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right, any other discussion?
Just so everybody understands, this isn't tax dollars, the funding that we get from this comes from every head of sheep and every head of livestock goes into this fund, then we disperse it back to the state, I believe, for the predation services, so. It's just kind of a pass through for the county. I think that was all I have. Mr.
No,
Chairman.
thank you. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay, any other discussion? Nope. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. Okay. That's all we have on the agenda. Unless there's, for some reason, anybody wants to say anything now that we can't take any action on. So. I know you want to say something, Jim. I just know it. You're chomping at the bit. I can tell.
No,
No, I'm
I'm stay
serious.
out of trouble at this time. No, I really don't have anything. much to
Really?
say. No, I just came down, I was understanding that you guys were gonna talk about the
The
picks
appointment.
today.
Oh, no.
We
Not
just
today.
received them today.
So we'll be making another trip.
That's all right.
Okay, if not, then this meeting will be adjourned.